Hi, I'm Alan Killingsworth, and this is just a little slide highlighting the main points that I've taken away from the Governance for a New Era report and video that we have watched for part one of our project here. First off, I would like to say that I did learn quite a bit by watching this video and reading the report. It made me think about things that I normally would not think about, especially concerning trustees for a college. People who are familiar with the higher education system in the state of Georgia know that we each college is not run by a branch of trustees per se. Instead, we are governed by the Board of Regents, which is in itself a kind of like a trustee board for the whole state of institutions in the university system of Georgia. But it kind of made me look at the role that they play in higher education in a new way, and also it made me think about the schools that have boards of trustees that play more active roles in the governance of each college campus that these trustees are at. Um, I guess the main point that I've taken away from the whole thing was that for higher education governance in the new era, trustees should take a more active role in their governance of the school. And as the report in the video pointed out, um, a lot of times trustees will take a backseat approach to governance when really, if they're fulfilling their mission, they should be taking a more active role. And the report in video kind of pointed out some key areas where trustees should take a more active role. Number one, as you can see by this first bullet point, trustees should not forget the institutional mission for the institution that they work for. As a trustee, they are responsible for ensuring that the college that they govern keeps up with their mission, and and by doing so, they need to set goals for the college to accomplish. And if not only the college president, and if the college president when he reports back to him, because he should report back to him, when he reports back to them and they find out that the goals aren't being met for the college, they need to kind of make changes to ensure that the college is keeping up with its mission. Because without a mission, what's the point of having a university? Because each university should have its own mission that kind of points them in the direction that they need to go. And also, trustees should take a more active role in protecting the academic freedom of not only the faculty of the institution that they govern, but also for the students. Um, and academic freedom for students is a kind of a new concept to some people. I don't think we realize that in higher education, a student deserves academic freedom as well. In fact, if it was not for the student, we wouldn't really need, uh, you know, academic freedom for faculty, because the whole goal, the whole mission of faculty is to educate the student. And if the student does not have academic freedom as well, then what's the point? Um, and also, going along with that, this was found in the same section in the report. The trustees for an institution should keep their institution neutral and try to keep them as safe from political pressure as possible. I did have a little, I guess, a little problem with this point, because it's kind of hard, in my opinion, to keep an institution safe from political pressure when uh, you know institutions of higher education, especially public institutions, are so dependent on funding from the state and also from the federal government. And with that funding comes political pressure. There's no other way, I don't see how you can avoid political pressure without accepting funding from the state or the federal government. But they, the authors of this report, feel that a trustee's mission is to keep a school safe from political pressure. And I would say that's a lofty goal, but I don't know just how it can be achieved. With funding comes pressure. Also, a trustee in the new era needs to ensure that educational programs are measuring up. The report mentioned and the video mentioned that we're graduating students now from our institutions, and they are not prepared to face the workforce. I mean, I, I forget who mentioned it in the video, but we are graduating students who cannot even perform eighth grade mathematics. How are we helping these students if they finish and we give them a bachelor's degree and they cannot perform eighth grade math? I mean, we're supposed to be giving students the skills that are necessary to survive in a modern workforce to lead us in a new direction, to come up with ideas that will change the world. But if they can't even do eighth grade math, what are we doing? But trustees, the board of trustees, they have to make sure the educational programs are measuring up. The report mentioned that they should get reports from the presidents about educational, goals and programs, and what's going on in each program of a school. And I don't see why we're not doing this already. I'm sure there are some schools that are doing this, but like I said, our whole goal is to prepare these students to meet, the demands of the modern workforce, to keep up with the global marketplace. But if they're graduating and they can't do eighth grade math, we're failing. We're failing our students. Also, the report said that the board of trustees should play a more active role in selecting the president, and they should hold their presidents accountable once they are selected and put in power. To mention that some schools use firms to hire presidents, but a trustee should, put their demands forward to the firm. Like, this is what we're looking for, and if the guy that you send us is not matching, what we want, then we're not going to choose that president. I think sometimes, presidents are selected because the firm really says that this is the best thing that you should go for, and the trustees just blindly follow and don't really think about what they're doing for their institution. And then sometimes, and I've seen this before, a president once installed, sure, he might be doing good for the first 2 years he's there, but then you start looking at the things that are going wrong with the campus, like, enrollment keeps dropping, especially if you go from, let's say, 6,000 students, now you're down to 3, and it's been since the president's been there. Well, shouldn't the trustees kind of look and see what's going on with the president? What is he doing to make changes to make sure that, this doesn't happen again? And you know, uh, every so often, to me, it seems like with higher education, and especially with our trustees, if you see a problem happening, go ahead and stop it. Don't let the problem keep on building up until you have a huge problem. Then you make a change, like removing the president from power. The trustees are the stewards of the schools that they represent, and if they don't make the changes that need to happen, then who will? Um, so I guess the final point I want to make is that trustees cannot do it alone. It takes teamwork. Um, the trustees are in charge, are the stewards of the school, but without the president, without the vice presidents, without the deans and the directors, um, nothing can get done. Trustees have to take charge, but also have to work with the people who are in power already. Without, without teamwork, nothing can be accomplished. We need to keep a focus on our students. We need to make the changes that need to be made so that we are doing our students justice. Trustees, like I said, cannot do it alone. It takes a team. Thank you for listening to this. I hope this made sense. And I hope you have a good day.